this little guy can do some pretty cool stuff. It's a Wi-Fi module for my Hobbywing speed controller. I think it goes for about 50 bucks and it allows you to adjust a ton of different settings on your ESC or your electronic speed controller to get you a super specific setup for throttle feel, brake, and all kinds of stuff. And today we're going to look at one adjustment in particular that I think a lot of you guys may like. So the setting that we're going to be dealing with in particular in just a second is the drive frequency. We're going to be looking at the throttle in particular, and it's something that I change when I go from high byte or medium byte or low byte tracks. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay guys, so we're going to go ahead and jump into showing you how to use a Wi-Fi module to make an adjustment inside our speed controller via a smartphone app. It's going to be pretty easy, and let's just go ahead and show you what you're going to have to do. First thing we're going to do, take it, it's got a little servo connection. On your speed controller, there's going to be a negative, a positive, and then like a neutral line. Make sure that you hook it up in the right orientation. If you don't, it probably won't turn on. Once it's connected, we're going to go ahead and turn on our speed controller. See the little red lights come on. And then we're going to go into the settings on our smartphone and look for this little Wi-Fi module on our little list here. So there it is, Hobbywing Wi-Fi. Go ahead and connect. It'll say connected but no internet access, that's fine. Go back home, then we're going to find our Hobbywing link, smartphone app. So now you're in the phone and we're going to need to adjust something in the parameters. But first, you actually need to connect the Wi-Fi module to the speed controller and sync everything up together before we can get into it. So go ahead and tap on the little speed controller icon and it will say connecting ESC. May take a moment. I think it's just the Wi-Fi, it just kind of takes a little bit of time here. All right, and then you'll see it has these little signal waves kind of flashing out the side of it. That means it's connected, we're good to go. So we're going to jump in parameters. This specific car is going to be doing all of these adjustments in the Blinky class or the stock class, or what you'll see in here is called the zero timing class. So go ahead and jump in there. May take a moment to load the settings that it currently has. Once it does, you'll see that there are a lot of settings in here. Today we're going to focus on specifically the frequency setting of the speed controller. This is going to have some varying effects for feel of trigger on the track. So let's just scroll right down to where you see it say throttle control. In here there's going to be a bunch of settings. The one that we're looking for is PWM drive frequency. Now, if you take a look at my car briefly, you'll see it's in a stand-up configuration. I've got some hybrids on the rear, some ribs in the front. So it's very obvious that I'm going to be setting the car up for an outdoor track in a very low byte condition. So aside from the setup on the car itself, one of the other things that I will always adjust when going from high byte to low byte is this drive frequency. So we'll go in there. Now the way that this works, you'll see it range from 1,000 all the way up to 16,000. All of these frequencies will have a slightly different feel on the track. What does that mean in real world terms? The way that the Hobbywing reps and tech support guys have explained it is the lower the frequency, the more aggressive or punch the car will have. The higher the frequency, the smoother the control will be in your throttle. So, for example, if I'm going to be on a low byte condition, theoretically, I might want to play with the highest setting possible to smooth out my power band. If I want something that's going to be beneficial for a high byte situation like carpet or astro or very high byte dirt track, I would go all the way down to 1000. So once you get the desired frequency that you want, in this case we'll go ahead and stick it with 12K, you leave it there, hit the back button, and then you would just hit save. Yes. It'll take a moment to save the settings that you put in there, hit OK, and now you're good to go. So it's something that I highly encourage. If you have the option of doing something like this with your speed controller, definitely play around with it if you haven't had the opportunity to do so. I think it'll be tremendously helpful when you're dealing with a low byte or a high byte track and you're just looking for one other thing to tweak your setup. Hope you guys like it.